past 15 years, I've substantially been just, absolutely obliterating my house in hopes of getting money from the insurance company. So far, this has worked about 200 times and they have no clue. And, I've made a lot of money from this. I'm just kidding, of course. In all seriousness, what we're going to be talking about today is a man who basically tried to scam insurance companies and ended up in jail between him and his friend. And it's just absolutely bonkers what this guy was thinking. Now, from what I'm reading, this happened in 2024, but the official article got posted in English more so like yesterday, literally like yesterday. So basically, man loses his feet and jailed after trying to scam insurance companies out of 1 million USD, which is like 14, 15 million in the currency in the country he is from. And if we go ahead and look here, this story is just absolutely wacky. Like, it's one of those things that you read and you genuinely think, like, man, maybe this is a cartoon or something like that, like because of just how silly this is. So let's go ahead and read it here. A man lost both of his feet after trying to defraud insurance companies out of 1 million using dry ice to freeze his legs around 10 hours and has been handed a suspended prison sentence. The man, who has only been named as Zhang by the South China Morning Post, purchased multiple lines of insurance from five different companies across 18 years between 2005 and early 2023, alongside a former high school mate of his who only has been named uh, Liao. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. The pair concocted, man, I cannot read. That's crazy. A plan to cash in on insurance payouts at the start of 2023. The pair filled a bucket with dry ice, with Zhang taking the plunge and placing his feet inside. He was strapped to the chair for 10 hours to ensure that he didn't remove his feet from the bucket, and so the injuries could be caused. Yeah, this is just like one of those wackiest things that I've like really ever heard. Like, they genuinely thought that like the play to get money, how do you scheme to get some money? You go, what do I do? How about I ruin my life in order to like scam money, bro? There's YouTubers who scam money every single day with zero consequences. But this guy, at his 3 bazillion IQ, basically thought, what if I make it where I cripple myself in order to do it? And I think what's funny about this really is, why send him to prison? Just in general. Like, I know he's trying to be like a fraudster and get money, but I feel like he already punished himself enough. He probably didn't predict the fact that he would have to completely amputate the limbs that he basically let sit in this dry ice. And because of that, he's probably already living in regret. I'm sorry to say this. Just don't throw him into a prison. Throw him into like a mental hospital or something like that, and just like call it a day. And like I'm not on the guy's side. I'm not saying that frauding or scamming or anything like that's good. I'm just saying what's the point in prison? If he had to get amputated, and I just feel like that's a lot of resources to go towards a guy who clearly already messed up his own life. And like, is this him? I don't know if this is him, but either way, like, it's just crazy to think about that. Like, people will go this far for money. I know people will do like some crazy things for money. A lot of like unethical things, especially. That's why what I said earlier about YouTubers scamming, or just influential people in general scamming other people. But seeing someone try to defraud insurance companies by basically ruining their life is crazy. Like, what was he gonna do with the $1 million? That's what I'm curious about, right? What in his mind was like running through it, and he's like, yeah, if I do this, I'll use the $1 million for this. Because I imagine how it went was he's like, I can live in luxury every day. I can buy whatever car I like, whatever house I like, especially because this is in China, right? So $1 million in China is a lot of money. $1 million in general is a lot of money. But if you took like $1 million in California, you might be able to buy a house. Where in China, you could probably buy a luxury car, a house, a PC, and probably live for a really long time without having to, really worry. Just because of how much $1 million is like different in our societies. And on top of that, like everything, I know it seems like I'm just yapping, but how do you convince your friend to do this with you? Like that's another thing, right? Now, if it was just like one guy and it said like, guy from Florida, I could probably believe this a little bit more. But it just feels like such a cartoon. It feels like something I'd see on like Tom and Jerry, basically, where like, like Jerry puts Tom to a chair so that way he doesn't get chased around or something like that, and like this happens. Like that's genuinely what this feels like to me. It's just like a Tom and Jerry episode. But yeah, I don't know. This is just something I saw today. Kind of wanted to rant about it because of how wacky it is. Don't scam people. Don't cause fraud. You will go to jail. What I said at the beginning of the video was completely a joke. I hope everybody understands that. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. Have a wonderful night. Peace.